My name is Hod Lipson, Hodlipson. I'm a roboticist, a professor of engineering and data science at Columbia University in New York. About sort of this convergence of electric and autonomous vehicles, this EAVs that are going to really are the future of the automotive industry. And I talk about how a combination of robotics and artificial intelligence are sort of weaving their way into the automotive industry and transforming it. The automotive industry has been transformed by robotics in the past. It was the first industry to adopt robotics at full scale, and it's going to be transformed again by these new robots called autonomous vehicles that we will interact with. We'll not just interact with, we'll trust our lives to and trust the lives of our children to. And these autonomous vehicles are driven by a new kind of artificial intelligence, an AI that for the first time in history of AI that's been going on for many years can understand what it sees. It allows AI to understand the difference between a pothole and a puddle, or between a tree, or what's drivable and what's not drivable. This kind of AI did not exist just a decade ago. Now it exists, and it's transforming every aspect of transportation. So one of the things I talked about is the ripple effect that this will have on everything automotive, not just on what cars will look like, but on real estate and on supply chains and e-commerce, and everything that depends on transportation is going to be transformed. And the many other questions about safety and about what will urban landscapes look like, and will people own cars, and what will maintenance of cars look like? We talked about all these different things, and the bottom line is that all these technologies are going to grow the automotive industry in leaps and bounds compared to what's today. We're going to use cars in many more ways. We're going to drive more miles. Cars are going to be driven more miles autonomously or not. There's going to be a huge growth in the industry, but things are going to change. It's important to understand how they're going to change and how tasks are going to be different, but the industry is going to grow. So, up until a few years ago, we've had cameras and computers in cars for decades. That has not changed, but AI. Nobody had the software that can tell the difference between a motorcycle and a bicycle. Something trivial that we humans do without even thinking about. A child can tell the difference between these two, and we drive differently when we're driving next to a motorcycle or a bicycle. We understand what's around us. Cars, up until recently, with all the spinning LiDARs and all the cameras, could not understand what's around them. They could detect objects and avoid them, but we don't just detect objects, we understand what's around us. We understand what other cars are going to do. We understand what objects are around us, how important they are, and what they're like, how they're likely to behave. And cars, for the first time, we've been working on driverless cars for decades, but for the first time, cars can finally understand what's around them. And that means that they can drive themselves. And is it going to happen overnight? It's not. But I think this last barrier to full autonomy is unfolding, and that means everything from from sort of lower level ADAS all the way to advanced autonomous driving, all the way from collision detection and avoidance all the way to driving at level 5. I think the diversity of form factors of cars is going to increase. So the moment cars drive themselves, you can do a lot more in the car. So that means that the cars don't have to be anymore a place where people are facing forward and they're all strapped in. Also, when cars have fewer accidents, you don't have to strap in people so carefully. They can do other things. And we'll have a lot of new opportunities, from sleeper cars to pods that drive a single person, to cars that bring you the shopping, bringing the store to you so you can choose things and try things out for yourself. Lots of different form factors. The ideas around how the form factor of these cars are incredible. So we'll see how it plays out, but I think we're going to see a larger diversity of form factors. And again, that's going to be more interesting, a little bit more headache if you're trying to maintain things. But I think the industry will need to evolve to allow making easier for maintenance and repair people to actually make these transitions without having to lock them into only one thing, because there will be such a large variety.
Yeah.
So I think there's a little bit of a misconception of what AIs and robots are good for. A lot of people think that robots can do work, can replace human labor, and whereas creativity and things like that remain something that's human. It's actually the other way around, and I believe that actually it's very difficult to automate car repair and so on. If an AI can drive your car tomorrow, but when your car breaks down, it's going to be a human crawling around and fixing it. There's no way that a robot can do that. It's so unstructured, it's so difficult. We're so far away from the physical manipulation ability, that physical dexterity that humans have when they're fixing things and so on. So I think those kinds of jobs are going to remain for a long time. Now, we can automate some things like color matching and so on, but by and large, repair is going to be a human thing. Hello, everybody. Hod Lipson here from Columbia University. I'm coming to ProColor Novus conference in October to talk about robotics, AI, and autonomous vehicles and how they're going to affect your industry. Looking forward to it. See you there.